My first encounter with Feng Shui was when we were working with Royal Bank of Canada. I personally didn't even know how to pronounce the name. It was like Feng Shui, what Feng Shui.
Peace is like beautiful. It's how, you know, it's like when you're in love with a woman, you're in peace. She's not playing around or whatever.
I am completely convinced. I never was very much worried about it, but by today I am 100% convinced.
From high-end hotels and trendy retail stores to Asian fusion cuisine and celebrity gossip, it's all right here on Feng Shui Life. I'm Jillian Vanderberg. Thank you for joining us. Now, for Toronto film producer Robert Lantos, Feng Shui was already a part of his everyday, so it's no wonder that he also wanted his staff to experience the benefits of Feng Shui.
Feng Shui savvy designers can create movement between natural and industrial design. Now, Canadian design firm Ciccone & Simone excels at combining simplicity, high tech, and nature to create a comfortable and sophisticated environment.
When this space was in mind to be created, the owner wanted to provide an environment for the employees where it was an oasis of creativity. We're in the film industry, so that would be really important to us. And it has totally been provided. I mean, we're spoiled in that we have such a beautiful environment to work in.
The client had a strong understanding of Feng Shui from the onset and was very specific in working with Malka. She was the consultant on the project, and we worked very closely together to ensure that certain elements were incorporated. Even though the building may come across as being open, it's a very narrow space, so it was extremely challenging to have pockets that would open up and embrace you.
The way this space is designed is really perfect to keep us together as a community.
There's nothing about this space that's a quick fix. I think the unfortunate part about design, you have many people that think that if they change a color of a room or if they add a certain piece of furniture, that the room will transform into everything that they're looking for. But in fact, there's a lot of work that goes behind a design.
Okay, Anna, take me on a tour.
As we walk through here, I want you to notice the simplicity of the stair, Phil, because it almost has that same feeling of when you watch the movie Gone with the Wind, and there's this presence in the staircase that's quite magnetic.
It brings me in.
That's what it's supposed to do. We call this the heart of the building, and this is the elevator, and it takes you through all the different levels. And then what we've done is everywhere where there's something happening, we've incorporated the lighting. Another interesting feature about this area in this courtyard is what we call our cappuccino area.
Yeah.
And as you can see, again, the light which beckons you to it, it's informality, which is really important. Mm-hmm. And every little item in this area has been custom designed. One of the thought process behind the stair was that you would be engaged by them to allow you to experience the space. And the only way that you experience the volume of the space is by interacting with the stair.
See, you're sneaky.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one room where we had to reconfigure it in order to comply with a lot of the Feng Shui principles. Originally, we had the screen on the opposite wall, and that meant that the client would more than likely be sitting with his back to the door. That's a no-no in Feng Shui. So we had to change it around, put the screen on the wall adjacent to the door so that when he was in a seated position, he would be looking toward the door and not have his back to it.
All right, and I want to call this the big guy's office, but it's very impressive as soon as you walk in.
If you look at where his desk is situated, we incorporated what we call a mountain, but this mountain is figuratively speaking. There are different stones and rocks and crystals that are behind him, and that's more or less to give him a shield, if you will, so that his back is not totally exposed. Also, if you look at the counter, this has no straight line. There is a curve that is gentle. As we move a little further down into the curve, you'll notice that it encounters a nib wall, and a portion of that nib wall has a rounded dowel. Again, sharp corners can interrupt energy and thought, and because that is the corner that's closest to him, we were very sensitive in incorporating a feature that would soften it. Where the door is situated now was not its original resting place. We in fact had it in the area where you now see a wonderful sandblasted glass, and we maintained the sandblasted glass to allow the accessibility to the rest of the office, so then there wasn't this solid wall. We're dealing with the physical space, the interior component, but the exterior becomes equally as important. When you're sitting in his chair and you look in the direction to the window, there are poles. So that's an energy force that can zap you. So what has been done is a lot of the vegetation that's been selected is higher in order to mask that and diffuse that shall we say, zapping effect.
A lot of the principles of Feng Shui were applied inside the building to the interiors, but there were a couple of architectural changes that were made to sort of even off the entire look of the building. It wasn't symmetrical originally, and what they had incorporated was steel beams above on the third floor to give us the square effect and make the building more balanced in appearance from the front. The Feng Shui principles that we incorporated in the landscaping outside the building were the fencing at the back as we enter from the employee parking lot. Originally we had it designed so that people could come straight through, but to sort of slow down the flow, we've separated so that we walk one way and then another, so it sort of curves into the courtyard space outside. The fountain is another important piece that Malka incorporated as part of the entrance, because this is the entrance that the owner uses. Because we have an alley directly across from our entrance to the building, it's pretty forceful. Cars are driving towards us with the energy, so we built planter boxes, and there's beautiful foliage and colors in there, and it slows down that energy and brings it around as opposed to entering directly into the front door. I would like to think of the birth of Serendipity as a company was an entire change in lifestyle for the owner and for all of us that work here, and incorporated into that lifestyle change an element of that being Feng Shui. So it would be one of the elements in the reason why I think we do well here in the success of Serendipity.
Yeah, I could work there. Now here's today's FSL question. What is the English translation for Feng Shui? Is it A, begin again, B, wind and water, or C, water and wealth? We'll have the answer for you later on in the show, or you can log on to our website.
You know, we're hunters, the men and women too. You know, today, I mean, everybody has a gun, you know, I mean, in their mind. They want to shoot down what they want.
When trying to create the latest and trendiest nightclub, where do you start? Well, two Montreal businessmen know the answer. You call interior designer Michelle Prey, of course. Here's Jillian.
Zen design is a spiritual and meditative approach to interior design. Like Feng Shui, it's considered the ultimate in harmonious living. Amidst the hustle and bustle of Montreal's nightlife, we found a champagne bar that invites its patrons into the Zen experience.
I mainly try to express in this space is to create magic, to create something, again, that you cannot have at your own place. It's that little unseen feeling, or finding a space where you could come with some new state of being. I use a lot of the Feng Shui in commercial space because it is something I feel that this present time people are looking for. They're looking for that inner peace, but they don't want just to be in peace. They still want to have sense gratification, have pleasure. So all these public places, in a way, you want to get there and get stimulated. So if you could stimulate them in keeping them in an harmony, I mean, what more you want, you know? For me, Zen and Feng Shui is just a question of culture. One expresses it says it in Zen, the other one they call it Feng Shui, and probably they're expressing the same thing, but it's like pasta and rice, you know, they're both food, but the way it's proceeded, it's refined, and you know, we come with these noodles, and the other one is straight. So I think they're both the same, Feng Shui and Zen. Probably not exactly 100% the same, but it's the same direction. For me, the best way to create a Zen or Feng Shui is to go as close as possible to organic, using cement, using wood, plants, whatever vibration I could imitate of nature. The roof detail is something to give a roof something interesting, because most of the time we take a ceiling and we just put lighting, we paint it, and that's it. This roof was very hard because it was like beams of wood, and what I did is use cheap material like wallpaper that looks like the metallic look, and cement, and with lines cut into the G-block that looks like big huge blocks of stones. The tables and the bars are material like formica, you know, recovered instead of having real wood. The mirror is something, again, very Feng Shui in the mirror. Usually should be on the other side, but again, you have to adapt to the space. I have no walls on the other side, so I use it because the reflection of the mirror usually is used for keeping away some negative forces. If you have, let's say, in the Feng Shui thing, if you have a door, an opening to a straight street coming to you, so you have all that energy coming very strong, and that's like they call it a poison arrow that kills you very strongly. By putting a mirror, you're reflecting that energy. Other thing in Feng Shui that is also very strong and important is the lines. If you go in a straight line, definitely it's colder than a little curve. So we got in this place the bar and some walls that are curved, that creates some softness. We have also material. If you see the chair's material and the color, that mustard, you know, or burned caramel, you know, it gives you that that warm feeling. It's not something cold like plain white or strong yellow, you know. So, and we have the bar that is metallic, the bottom of the bar, but at the same time we have these little round circle spots that are chromed. Because they're round and they look like bubble, it's champagne. It's again fantasy. It's a fantasy world, you know. There is three different feelings. You have the front that is more like the terrace, you know. It's a relaxing because we have the window and people are like more conversation area. Then you got the center part that is the standing bar, where it's more used at night because it seems the darker it gets, the more deeper the people that go inside. And you got the back part that is, I would call the more sin place where you get your romance going, you know, and where you're hidden from people. The lighting is very important. Here, what it is, it's a flood lighting, the majority, and you have to come up with some new vibration. So this flooded light gives some new sensation. It makes it also softer on the people, and it makes it more romantic. This place attracts not a direct kind of people, it's more a state of mind of people. I mean, they could be of different ages, but they have all the same state of mind. I mean, you could be old, young, you could be dressed in a very fashion or non-fashion, but the state of mind of you're looking for magic, and that's what they attract. Life is beautiful. It's magic, and we create the magic. So in the design, Feng Shui, you could have that space to create that magic.
Well said, Michelle. And once again, here's the FSL question of the day. What's the English translation of Feng Shui? Begin again, wind and water, or water and wealth? Stay tuned for the answer.
We have to know, we have to locate exactly how the water originates, and how it runs into the pot.
Perfect, perfect. You tell me, we're gonna build it.
Okay.
I think it's important to interview practitioners, have them answer your questions accurately, adequately, keep asking questions till you're satisfied with the answers you get. Make sure they use a compass, very simple thing. Make sure they know how to use their compass. Make sure that they ask you just for your birth date, the date of construction of the house, and perhaps the time, the date you moved in. Other than that, they shouldn't be asking you anything. They should be able to tell you stuff that you otherwise wouldn't have anybody knowing. That's how you tell the good practitioners.
London, New York, LA. These cities play host to such trend-setting lifestyles as Feng Shui, and we've done our share of stories in these cities. But here's a place we didn't expect to find Feng Shui. Karen?
Thanks, Phil. We have seen a lot of homes and businesses in urban centers, but here in Northern Ontario, we found a place that recognizes the benefits of Feng Shui. Lake Obabaca Lodge is the ultimate Feng Shui getaway.
We are a small place, only room for 20 guests. That way we really can keep it personalized, like a family. We are on a 20-mile lake, what is the first conservation limit lake in Ontario, what means it's protected for the future. Fishing is great. We are really remote, but still you don't have to fly and you can drive to us. Our cottages are all equipped with 4-piece bathrooms. Most of them have 2 bedrooms. They have fireplace. We have a screened-in balcony. We have our sauna and the whirlpool direct on the beach. All the cottages and everything in the place is connected with boardwalks to the lodge. We are in the lodge, we have the dining room, we have a little lounge, and we have a very nice balcony on the lodge where everybody meets after dinner. Some even have a cigar. At the time we built the lodge, we really were not much involved with Feng Shui. The only Oriental way of thinking we knew was from acupuncture, but about 5 or 6 years ago, Margie started getting involved, taking her first course with Master Joseph Yu from Toronto.
Going to the course was a big consideration because we really had money issues, and Master Yu is very well known for his teaching style, for his integrity, and for his support for his students. So I just really decided he was the one to go with. And he teaches traditional Feng Shui, which is the one that really appealed to me.
Well, basically I teach how to integrate heaven, earth, and man luck together. That is to say, how to analyze the destiny of a person and how to use earth luck, that is Feng Shui, to help him, and how to guide him to walk on the proper path, that is the man luck, so that he can bring his potential to the maximum.
The most important things that Joseph had looked at we all brought our plans, so he said, okay, this is what you need to do.
In the office, the energy there was not great. What Mark did was to open a new door so that when the good qi coming from the main door into the house is directed towards the office. And once the office can enjoy that prosperous qi, the business will change.
The first results 1-2 days after.
Immediate.
Immediate results.
The little thing is that our daughter was, since she could walk, sleepwalking. And after, even Margie, after her first seminar with Master Joseph, she came home and we implemented what she told us to do, my brother and me. Sarah stopped sleepwalking 2 days after.
The problem was she was right in line with the stairs coming up, which is, now when I think about it, it's horrible. But so she was sleeping right in line, the door was never closed.
She learned from me, and she knows where should there be water, where should be mountain, and where should the 5 elements be placed. The good thing about this piece of land is that it slopes gently from behind. We say that the dragon, although we don't have noticeable mountain range here, we can feel that the dragon rests here and is stopped by the water. So this is the dragon's lair, and it is exactly what we need for a good site. The water there is beautiful. It retains the energy. It retains the qi. The mountain is beautiful. You see the trees are beautiful. You see the energy chart of this site has the wealth coming from the south, but, well, they have decided to put the road there, and the energy coming from there is a fame and harmony. Well, they get what they want to. The quality of the people, the quality of the guests, and to make the place famous.
I would say that our place here by now is for sure the most and the best Feng Shui getaway. We not only implemented it for us personally and for our business, we also implemented it for our guests, for the cottages, for the whole place. So I think that the level of feeling comfortable, feeling good, having the Feng Shui, the energy flowing in a positive way, we really have achieved.
Nobody will leave our lodge without having a ground education on Feng Shui. You need to do something in your life.
Oh, I'm very proud of what Margit has done, and I'm very proud of her talents. She did a marvelous job.
All right, you've waited long enough, and here's the answer to today's FSL question. If you answered wind and water, you're right. And don't forget to check other Feng Shui related topics at www.fengshuilife.tv. Thanks for watching.
Please refer to your manuals.